Hello there, lovely people. Today I'm going to make a chocolate mud pie. And this is really chocolatey, so it's chocolate lover's delight. Right, we're going to first make our bain-marie. I'm going to put the gas on under a pan with some water. So while the water is simmering for the bain-marie, I'm going to melt some butter for the cookie base. So here I have 75 grams of butter. Let that melt. So while that's happening, I'm going to crush or stick in my blender 300 grams of chocolate cookies. So let's get those. Right, these are nicely crushed. So let's transfer this mixture into a bowl. And my butter has melted nicely. So let's pour this into the chocolate biscuits and stir. This should have the consistency of mud, funnily enough. If you've got any odd rogue biscuits that haven't crushed, just squish them in there. And that's ready to go into our tin. So before I line my tin, my water for my bain-marie is simmering. So I'm going to get my chocolate and butter in for melting. So that's 85 grams of dark cooking chocolate and 85 grams of butter. So let's put that on. Make sure the bowl does not touch the water. So while that's melting, I'm going to line my tin with my biscuit base. So push it to the sides. So I'm going to use my fingers because it's a messy task, and this way you can gauge how much biscuit you're actually pushing into the sides. It doesn't have to be neat, it doesn't have to be pretty. It will all work out in the end. Start spreading it. Right, I've lined my tin. And I'm going to put this into the fridge for about 10-15 minutes. It needs to chill completely and set. Right, let's check on my chocolate and butter. That's nicely melted. And let's put it onto the side to cool slightly. While that's cooling, I'm going to whisk the eggs and the sugar. 2 eggs. 2. Make sure you don't get any shell in there. And this is 85 grams of dark brown soft sugar. Whisk it until it's thick, light, and fluffy. So you can see that the eggs and the sugar have kind of doubled in volume and are soft and fluffy. So into that, I'm going to add my melted chocolate and butter. So I went to New York last year, and this is where I tried this dessert. I went into a little cafe just off of Central Park. So I ordered a double espresso, and I asked the guy, what is a typical American dessert or cake? And he said, chocolate mud pie. So I thought, I'll try that. And that's where I learned how to make this recipe. There are different variations of this. I mean, everybody's got their own version of it, but this is my version. You fold the chocolate into the egg mixture gently. Now, into this, I need to add 100 ml of cream. So continue stirring until it becomes a real chocolatey mess. So this is mixed nicely, and I'm going to go and get my base, which has had plenty of time to chill. I'll be back. Here we have my chilled base. Now I'm just going to pour this lovely mixture into it. This beauty goes into the preheated oven, 180 degrees, 40 minutes. Right, cake's in the oven. So while that's baking, I'm going to make fudge sauce to go over it. This is really luscious and really yum. So, hob on. So it's 150 grams of dark chocolate just gone in there. 150 mils of cream. Double cream is preferable, but I haven't been able to get any, so I'm just using regular single cream. So into that, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of golden syrup. 1, 2, 3. You just let that melt. So once that's melted, give it a quick taste. I do know that there are recipes out there that ask you to add icing sugar. For me personally, that is sweet enough. But if you want to add some icing sugar, add about 50 grams. Let that cool. So once our chocolate mud pie is out of the oven and cooled, this will be poured over it. Right, it's time to take this out of the oven. Right, it's risen beautifully. Now before we can eat this, we need to let it cool completely. This has been cooling for around 30 minutes. So we spread on this cooled fudge sauce. Now, it may look a bit thick, but this is how it's supposed to be. Smooth it with the back of the spatula so that it spreads nicely. It needs to chill for another hour. I know it's a long time to wait, but believe you me, it's well worth it. Off to the fridge I go. I'm going to add some pouring cream just on the top. And there you go, my version of chocolate mud pie with lashings of cream.